For 2016, Tom Davis together with Rick Dempsey and joined now by Dan Duquette. Dan, it seems like you had a busy off-season, right? You didn't get much sleep.
Well, we had a lot of free agents, and we got some of them signed up, which I know the fans are happy about. They wanted Chris Davis to come back. They know O'Day's been one of the best pitchers in the league for several years, so they're glad he's back. And those guys provide leadership and stability to the team, and it shows a commitment from the ownership to field a good team here year in and year out. That's what we intend to do this season.
Now, Dan, when you look at some of the statistics that these players have accomplished with the ball club, I mean, with Chris Davis winning home run championships over the 2 out of the last 3 years. Darren O'Day, a very big factor out of that bullpen with 23 wins and a 1.92 earned run average. And, of course, Matt Wieters, 100 career home runs for the Orioles. I mean, this is one of the big things about a nucleus of this ball club is able to keep these.
Well, I think the stability to the ball club and having Wieters back, who's good offensively and defensively, helps the ball club. But having J.J. Hardy come back along with Adam Jones, Manny Machado, John Scope, I mean, these are players that our fans like, and they're players that should have another good year this year like they've shown that they can do in the past.
Dan, you look at our farm system, and they've got to have they're very happy about what's going on up here right now. We've got a lot of young guys coming up out of the organization. They're going to get their opportunity to pitch here at the Major League level. You've got to be happy about that.
Well, I think a lot of our people have done a nice job, but the fact that we have 4 pitchers on this roster for opening day that weren't here before speaks to the good work of our scouts and minor league people and our player development at the big league level, because you got Tyler Wilson, Mike Wright, they're both former Jim Palmer Award recipients in the minors, Michael Gibbons, who came through the minors, and Dylan Bundy. So there's 4 rookie pitchers that are on the opening day roster, which speaks volumes about the work that our young people have been doing in the minor leagues.
You get Mark Trumbo and Pedro Alvarez. How much does the power mean to that starting lineup?
Well, it gives us a little bit more depth, and you're talking about 2 30 home run hitters, 1 right-handed hitter, 1 left-handed hitter. And Alvarez led the National League in home runs just a couple years ago, and they're both young, and they both want to have good years. So I think they're going to be a good complement to the lineup.
As you go into the start of this season, Dan, we still got to be looking to make some adjustments at here and there, maybe in the starting rotation. You know, if some guys don't get healthy and get back here in time, are we looking for another left-hander? What are we looking for in that pitching area?
Well, we're looking for our guys to keep the ball in the ballpark as much as possible. And we would like to have a left-handed starter. We haven't been able to replace Chen, but we do have a couple of good lefties in the bullpen, of course. We got Britton and McFarland, and Mattis should be back in another week. But ideally, we'd like to have a left-handed starting pitcher.
You know, the media, they just haven't been real nice to us, picking us to be last in this division. There's just no way a ball club with this good defense, pitching, bullpen, you know, what we're capable of doing offensively can be picked that low. I think it's because they don't know a lot of these good young guys that we do have coming up here.
Well, those experts haven't been very good the last 4 years in terms of what they said the Orioles were going to do and what the Orioles actually did. So I hope this is another good year for the team. I'm confident we have the good defense. We have the good leadership with Buck Showalter. We have a very powerful lineup. We got 6 guys in this lineup that have hit over 30 home runs before, and I wouldn't be surprised to see 30 home runs from our catching position or possibly our second baseman, John Scope. So it's a very powerful lineup. A good deep bullpen with righties and lefties that can get out both sides hitters. And it's going to be the starting pitchers. If we keep the ball down and keep it in the park, I think we're going to have a lot to cheer for this year.
And how important was it to upgrade DH for the Orioles to get a guy like Alvarez that can, you know, hit the ball out of the park?
Well, I hope that we fixed our DH issue by adding Alvarez. He can certainly hit right-handed pitching. Mark Trumbo can hit right and left. And this kid, Joey Rickard, I hope that he helped address our outfield situation, because we needed to address a couple of holes in the outfield and DH from our last year's team. And I think the people that we brought in could help us do that.
You know, you looked at, and you mentioned the name, actually, Jonathan Scope, and nobody's really mentioned much about him. He ended up with a hell of a spring, almost hitting 350. But his capability on defense and his capability on offense, you're looking at another player coming in here that's like the reincarnation of second base Manny Machado.
Well, Jonathan Scope, I believe, is going to have a good year. He's got the great hands, he's got the great arm, and he's getting better at the plate. He's getting more selective, and he's got some serious power.
Manny Machado is going to get another Gold Glove award later today. When he put on a clinic in spring training, one of the games that was televised on masn, it looked like he was having a good time fielding ground balls.
What a talent, and you can see he has a great time showing his talent. He can do everything. Hey, there's no higher praise than Brooks Robinson saying that's a player that I'd pay money to see play. I don't know what else I could say.
That's a good point. Now, let me ask you this. In last year, when you look at the players that missed a significant amount of time, Wieters didn't start the season, played 75 games. Scope had 86 games. Hardy played 114. Adam Jones missed 25 games. How much did that hurt the Orioles, the fact that they were all somewhat injured at different periods of time?
Well, there's no question about it. You have to have some luck with injuries, and you have to have some help and good training. Now, I've always said if you get through spring training without any major injuries, you've had a good spring training. We've managed to do that, and I hope that these players are on the field for the good part of the year. They're still young. We still have a pretty young ball club, and these guys train hard, and they know how to be everyday ball players.
What attracted you to Yovani Gallardo? What was the attraction?
Gallardo's a pro. He's one of the few pitchers in the big league to start 30 games for 6 consecutive years. Last year, he won 14 games. He likes to pitch in the big games, and he beat Toronto in the playoffs. So, he's got a lot to add to the ball club, and I hope he does for us what he's done for the last 2 clubs he's been with.
How about the atmosphere at opening day? I mean, what's it like for you? You've been around baseball many, many a year. What's it like?
Well, there's nothing like opening day, and when you have a good ball club, you should be able to give some hope to the fans that you're going to be in it and you're going to be in the pennant race. On a personal note, I want to congratulate Rick for his 50th year in baseball. I wish you many, many more, buddy.
Thank you very much. I mean, I couldn't be happier because I'm where I want to be in the city I want to be, for the team that was the best team I ever had. I played for 6 different ball clubs, had a championship with the Dodgers, but the Baltimore and their fans in this city have become part of my life, and I don't ever want to be anywhere else.
People love baseball here. They love you too, Rick.
Thank you very much.
Dan, we thank you for being with us on a tradition now, opening day, stopping by to visit us on O's Extra pregame. Dan Duquette, who has put together the Orioles for a 5th straight season.